I have deep respect for that. I do. I mean what I said on the air last night on my show, that I think that acknowledging that you might have gotten something wrong is a real sign of strength, a real show of strength. And I think it's a show of strength, and I think it's a show of respect for the people who work at this company and who make us who we are. That leadership was willing to change on this, and I'm grateful to them. You know, it's not about hiring a Republican. It's not even about hiring somebody who has Trump ties. This was a really specific case because of Ms. McDaniel's and her involvement in the...
I just want to apologize to everybody. I have no idea what happened, but I'm not in a bad mood. I just hate everything today. That doesn't mean I'm in a bad mood. First off, that's Rachel McDowell.
I hate that dude.
I don't know what his problem is. Over at MSNBC, talking to Joy Reid, who scalped a Karen, apparently. And they are high-fiving each other because they got Ronna McDaniel fired. First off, welcome back to the show. I'm mad, but not for the reason you think. Welcome back to the program. Dana Loesch here with you, top of the second hour. You can watch all over the internet. On X, it's streaming, channel 347 DirecTV. I'm mad because I feel like these people are putting me in a position where I'm defending her. And that makes me mad because I don't want to. I don't want to defend her. I think that she was an incompetent RNC head. I think that when she became chair of the RNC and Trump picked her, the RNC began losing like it was their job. She was horrible. They're broke with a capital B, broke. And now we've got a +1 majority in the House. We ain't got nothing in the Senate. You've seen the non-sentient creature in the House or in the White House. This is a mess. A mess. And so she was going to go over and be a contributor at MSNBC. Oh my gosh, I'm like aggravated that I got to defend her. People are like, well, her first mistake was going to MSNBC. I disagree. I'd like to go where the fight is. And I was one of the first token conservative contributors at CNN back in, this is like 2011, 2012, 2013. And you kind of know that most of the people hate you. But you do have a couple of allies. But I like to go where the fight is. Because sometimes it's not about winning the battle, but planting the seed is the victory, right? So that's how I look at stuff. You know, I've never shied away from clearly going into any arena, literally, or anywhere else. So I don't fault her for going to MSNBC. That was a pretty nice, she was, a $300,000 contract. Do you realize most contributorships, they only give you like $75,000? They don't pay nothing and they want exclusivity. That's why a lot of people don't do it. But she got a $300,000 gig. They don't pay stuff like that for contributorships. They're not even hiring for contributorships anymore. Everything's moving digital. It's not moving the needle anymore to hire like they used to. But it was a boon for MSNBC because they had somebody who was, and that's the reason that they hired her. She's Trump adjacent, Trump affiliated. She's a Republican. Yeah, everyone's like, but Dana, they got RNC Michael Steele. Okay, I'm talking about Republicans here. I know Michael Steele. He and I got into an argument at CPAC before. I've never been a fan of him. I always thought he was a moderate. I always thought he was weak. And I thought he was also a bad RNC. I did. I thought he was a bad RNC head. And he is at MSNBC because he is a Democrat who keeps the R after his name because otherwise he loses zeros on his check if he doesn't. So his only value is being used as a cudgel against the side that he claims to represent but literally has no affiliation with anymore. So she is, a Republican. She's head of the RNC, and they hired her for that reason. And then you had all of these absolute brats, these petty people. Can I just make one? They'll probably talk about me again. I don't know. Joe Scarborough and Nepo baby Mika Brzezinski, who's a total Nepo baby. They are psycho. They are literally psychotic. I said they went at me one time, and this was after Parkland. They went at me. And I said one thing, Kane, do you remember this on my radio show? And they spent like 10 minutes on their show the next morning. Like, how dare you? How dare you be so obsessed with us? And I'm like, I'm literally responding to you, you psychotic Karens. Oh my gosh. And they were going on. There was some audio. I don't know if we have it. There was some audio where they were saying that this is, it's appropriate that she should be fired, and we just can't do this. We can't. They and everybody else, you had Nicole Wallace, you had all these other people, and then you heard Rachel Maddow talking with what's-her-face, Joy, one of the Joys. And they're so petty. They're petty and they're so tribal and they're so bigoted with thought. There's no diversity of thought at these networks. There's absolutely none. And they had this, I was looking, do you know who all the people were who have been hired there before? I don't remember them, Listen to this. This is the Morning Joe stuff. Where this is right, I guess this was the morning of, before when they announced it, right?
Yes.
So this was
Right before she was fired.
Today. So this was yesterday morning. And I just think that these, again, Nepo Baby Brzezinski and Joe Scarborough, who's just insufferable, and I think he's high on his own farts, two of just like the most ridiculous people. If you could pick people, they're like caricatures of morning anchors. They really are. Are they not? It's like Ron Burgundy in the flesh, except Ron Burgundy had endearing qualities. They're just psychotic. Anyway, they were so upset about this. Listen to this. They're just so mad. Listen to this. This was them going at their bosses at NBC over hiring McDaniel.
Former RNC chair, Ronna McDaniel.
Well, she was on Sunday's Meet the Press. It was her first appearance since NBC News hired her as a political analyst. I know you won't be surprised to know that we've been inundated with calls this weekend, as have most people connected with this network, about NBC's decision to hire her. We learned about the hiring when we read about it in the press on Friday. We weren't asked our opinion of the hiring, but if we were, we would have strongly objected to it for several reasons.
We are precious cells. We were not asked by our bosses about how. We were not asked. Neither of you can do a show by yourself, which is why you have to have a second banana. He can't do a show by himself because he doesn't, clearly it doesn't focus group well. And she just sits there and she's like the Flava Flav to him. She just is the hype man, right? The Nepo baby. They can't do it by themselves, so they got to be together. The jokes. Can you imagine? I can't believe my boss didn't ask me. Shut up, you ideological bigot. Shut up. Maybe, I don't know, crazy idea here. Your boss was thinking, wow, maybe we should widen the net and try to get more viewers. Maybe that was an approach they were thinking of. Golly, you people are making me defend MSNBC's thought process on this. I am going to just gag.
It's a general election.
Yeah, it's a general
sense.
election. Wow, makes sense. We'd probably want to have some actual Republicans. And then you got the people, but Michael Steele's not a Republican. Shut up. He's not a Republican any more than Dylan Mulvaney has an actual real vagina. Stop. I can't play any more of it. It's so, you guys get the idea. Juan's like, are we really playing this? No, it's all right, Juan. Even Juan's done with it. He's done with it. So they're all mad, and so NBC fired her. They fired her. Now let me tell you. Pull this up. All the people at MSNBC that they have hired. They had no problem hiring David Axelrod. Kane, what administration was David Axelrod in?
Axelrod?
Yeah.
Oh, he's Democrat.
Yeah, what admin was he in?
Oh, he was in the Obama
Yeah. They had Rachel Recusant, who's their comms person over at MSNBC. She was a comms person for Obama admin. Jen Psaki, Obama admin. Robert Gibbs, Obama admin. Karen Finney, Obama admin. Ed Rendell, Clinton's and Obama. Jared Bernstein, Clinton's and Obama. Not to mention all of the other Clinton and Obama people at all of the other networks, like John Carl and Jake Tapper and George Stephanopoulos and Donna Brazile, and I could go on and on and on. Oh, and didn't MSNBC hire Chelsea flipping Clinton? They gave her a nice check. I don't remember what she did. I will say at least Chelsea's classy with dealing with some of this stuff. I can't be mean to her. I don't like her parents, and I'm not a fan of her politics, but you got to give her credit. And look, it's me being nice, and I'm right. So they had no problem hiring all these other Democrats there. They are mad because this is a Trump-affiliated Republican. Oh, don't be like, well, they got all these other... They're not actual Republicans. Have you seen them? Again, stop. The left got mad because it was a Trump-affiliated Republican. Oh, my gosh. And then people are like, well, none of them lied and tried to steal an election. This one chick said that. First off, don't do a full body shot on Twitter unless you got the body for it. Number one. Number two, all comers. We're not talking about Hillary Clinton and the DNC. Okay, let's stay on topic here. We're not talking about Hillary Clinton and the DNC. Talking about Ronna McDaniel. This is the left doesn't want to discuss different ideas because they are afraid. Remember, they view a challenge as a threat. Instead of, they are not capable, and very few of them can actually do this, of defending their viewpoints intellectually. That's why it's all ad hominem and tears. That's their whole thing. It's oh my gosh, and then these people who are like, oh, so she had participated in unlawful. Shut up. How many hashtags do you have in your profile? You absolute stupid CCP bot. Nobody cares. They all say the same thing. She helped steal an election. We're not talking about Hillary, who literally manipulated the FISA court to wiretap, surveil, stalk, and harass private citizens. And they try to upend a free and fair election in 2016. That is God's honest truth. If you want to have a discussion about trying to steal an election, they tried in 2016. And I am not a conspiracy theorist. I do not engage in that kind of hyperbole. But that happened. And they worked with the Kremlin to do it. And they worked with lobbyists for Russian oligarchs who are unregistered FARA agents to do it. They used discredited, laundered Oppo that the FBI refused to verify to do it. So have 1 million seats, because that's when it happened.